So this is an overview for some of the options available for split systems and U-shaped ACs. So the split system is a little bit more expensive, but the benefit is that you don't have to have it in a window, so you have to deal with window stuff. But you do have to install them and potentially charge the lines. Some of them come pre-charged, as you can see here. So also some of these are multi-zone splits, which means that you can have multiple temperatures throughout your house. And so of course the key number to look at is the BTU. So you're starting at like 9,000 and 12,000 for these larger mini splits. And the pricing is something like 2,000 for a multi-unit system. And so this is the outdoor unit. It's pretty quiet. And these units here are also extremely quiet. It looks like it comes with 2 remotes as well as a smart app in this particular brand. But of course, like I say, there's so many of these available now. There's so many ways to look at this, to analyze for your price preference. So here's another version of a split without the multi-zone functionality. So you could potentially work a system where you have the mini split as the main AC in the big room, like the living room, and then maybe some window units throughout other areas of the house. So the mini split in the living room could potentially heat the kitchen as well in Florida. And you won't have to mess around with windows and such. And also the mini splits produce heat. So you gotta make sure you get one that also does heat, because it's gonna come in handy in the crazy weather of these days. And so here we have the lesser version, but it's a great unit. And if you want to go with another route for heat and just get a AC unit that has a lot of power, then I would highly recommend the Midea, because I've used one myself. It's on right now and I'm doing a video and you can barely hear it. That's because it's the same concept where the noisy part is outside and the nice quiet side is comforting and it's inside. These are also programmable with smart apps and things like that. It also does come with a remote control. I love it so much, I just basically just push it on, it does its job. I haven't had any problems. When the power kicks off, it comes back on when the power comes on in the right setting. So that's cool as well. There's lots of programmability with things like this. So if you didn't want to get the heater and have to worry about installing refrigerant, and you have windows that are more conducive to installing something like this, then this is a cool option as well, because it's going to be able to produce very quick AC, and you can have multiple units, so you can have multi-room temperature control through this as well. And so you could just buy as many of these as you need. This is not the base price. This is for the 10,000 BTU unit model. So there's a little bit more affordable models. I don't think I paid that much for mine. I think I paid less on the deal or getting it through eBay or something. But anyways, these are some of the options available. They have even larger number BTU units for these U-shaped ACs, depending on how crazy you want to go with that stuff. And of course, because they're energy savings, you can have multiple units on in multiple rooms without having too much issues with your power in your house. And they should be on their own outlet. That's one thing. So that has to be considered. But I haven't seen a humongous increase in having to utilize mine during these crazy hot humid summers. Maybe $10 it's costing me to do that. So that's cool. So these are the basic options available, and you just have to decide for yourself how crazy you want to go for AC versus how much you want to save by not having to install a central unit. And I'm already seeing many units around Florida that have had these kinds of systems installed because they're so much affordable, and because the AC units are very difficult to maintain. And there's the thing with the filters all the time. I don't know what you have to do in terms of changing the filters on these. Maybe it's just probably washing them, but there's that, and people never change them properly, and they just have so many issues in the larger systems. And then it becomes a huge issue, bringing out the people, the specialists, versus these, you just kind of install it, and it has its own issues later on, but it's so much more affordable to easily replace if needed, versus having to spend $5,000 and have to deal with all that technical stuff with dealing with people who you may or may not be qualified, et cetera, et cetera. It just brings tons of problems, but it will hopefully save you money going this route. And a lot of people seem to be doing this, and this U-shaped unit, it was highly recommended all over YouTube. and I agree it works great. As you can see, it can cool quite a large space, depending on what model you buy. So I like this one, but again, there's multiple brands, so many brands available for this. They're available right at your local hardware stores. I think maybe even Walmart has U-shaped air conditioners now. So there you go. There's some options for this. And the only technical parts of this is installing the electrical system to power the unit. You may have to install an electrical box that goes directly to your circuit breaker, as well as you may have to charge the lines with some kind of refrigerant matter, or at least test the lines, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a little bit more technical skill required. However, once that's all sorted, you just need to be able to install these on a wall, and they're very quiet as well. So there's some options for saving with AC as the weather gets crazier and crazier.